Honey, are you fucking kidding me?
JELEEL, yeah. When I feel like rolling up, I'ma slide in. When I'm in my zone enough, start to find me.
Born in Pawtucket, Rhode Island on October 14th, 1995, Abdul Jaleel Yusuf is currently on his way to becoming a light within the youth. At a young age, Jaleel was always into music. He would listen to a variety of sounds ranging from African beats, drill, rap, all the way to punk rock. Artists like Paramore, Bowling for Soup, Sum 41, and DMX all inspired him. Before he even started rapping, Jaleel was aspiring to be a promising basketball player. However, athletics never went his way, because during his sophomore year of high school, he would get kicked off the basketball team. This pushed Jaleel to start working out harder and practice more, in order for him to get back on the team. Then during his junior year, he would make it back into this high school basketball team, where the coach took note of how persistent Jaleel was being in following his dreams. There would be some sort of disconnect with Jaleel's parents since they wanted him to focus more on school, but he really wanted to be a pro basketball player. Sadly, one day during one of his captain practices, he went up to a block layup which ended up fracturing his tibia and rupturing his patella tendon. This was a huge upset for Jaleel since his dreams started to fade away from him. This injury put him in a wheelchair for the next 5 months of his life. Eventually, when he got his surgery and fully healed up, he tried rejoining his team next year for his senior year of high school. This sadly backfired on him, since Jaleel would end up getting cut from the team a second time. It's like the school had it out for bro, which is just so fucked, and I just feel bad for him. After high school though, he would enroll in Loyola University in Maryland for psychology. Jaleel would not give up on his basketball dreams, but even in college he would struggle with it. Then, in his senior year of college, he decided to hit the music scene. Since he was always into the art, he wanted to be part of it. He started working on his craft with his first Spotify single being released on June 25th, 2018 called Glow Up. You can really see the punk influences with his first single. Jaleel would eventually want to move to LA to follow his newfound passion for music. However, he was in his senior year of college, so he decided to fuck it and finish school. Around this time, the JELEEL, yeah, persona started to form because he would end up screaming and ripping his shirt off during this final year of college as well.
JELEEL's coming! JELEEL's coming! JELEEL's coming! Yeah, that's him! JELEEL!
Upon graduating with a degree in psychology, Jaleel would also take a flight to LA a week after his graduation. He entered LA with little to no plan at all, and no money. Although he didn't have a plan, I still like that he decided to follow his dreams and passion to achieve his goals. Jaleel did share an Airbnb with 2 other people from Rhode Island named Lettuce and Serge. They would not last long together though, because after a while, they would get kicked out from this Airbnb and end up being homeless. This pushed Jaleel to go down Melrose in LA and start doing what he did best, back in college. Imagine walking down Melrose and seeing someone scream, JELEEL, yeah, while ripping his shirt off. For a while, this was his only source of income too. Jaleel was smart about this as well, because he would also post this on social media like Instagram and TikTok, which would also gain him more traction. However, Jaleel was still homeless, so during this time he met someone named Versus who he would frequently be in the studio with, and Versus did let him stay at his place too while Jaleel was gaining traction on the streets. But due to a bad situation they were in, they had to leave the place, which made Jaleel homeless for a 3rd time for about 6 months. This put Jaleel in such a weird place because he would end up sneaking into people's homes in order to have shelter to be in, and living in a crack house in Koreatown. At one of these homes he was staying at, the cops would kick the door down and throw everyone out the house.
FBI, open up!
Even though Jaleel was going through all this, he always believed in himself, which kept his mind sane with all the struggles he was going through. With everything going on, Jaleel would still be working hard on his music, and during this period of time, he claims this is where he makes his best work for his debut tape, Angels from Heaven. The experiences that life was putting him through caused Jaleel to push and work harder and very passionately on his 10-track tape. The production is insanely raw and had a variety of beats. You could tell he was inspired from many genres. With only having one feature from James' first gen, the key tracks were Rocket Ship, and Hasta La Vida.
She wanna stick to me just like glue. Hasta la vida, mama. So Pacific, wetter than a typhoon.
Which was the leading single to the project. From this moment on, Jaleel would keep promoting himself during the Jaleel ritual and focusing on his craft. Over the course of the year, Jaleel would keep dropping more singles and eventually drop an EP called Generation Z on July 3rd, 2020. This would eventually receive a deluxe, which would end up releasing the following year on March 5th, 2021, having a total of 10 tracks consisting with only 2 features from Seiji Oda and Pretty Boy D.O. This ended up evolving his sound. Overall, this EP was extremely experimental. There were some rage beats within it, and it was perfect because that genre was rising during that time. This did become the genre most of his fans gravitated towards him for. Key tracks were Red Light, Sinner, and Life a Trip. From here, the biggest single to date, Dive In, was on the horizon. May 21st, 2021 is when the huge single would drop, and it became an instant hit on TikTok. There wasn't really a trend for it. This song had a genuine push on the website. JELEEL was smart for capitalizing on it too, because he would make more videos using the song of him ripping his shirt to it. Not only the song would blow up, a sped up and slowed version was also big. This would later cause JELEEL to drop these versions on streaming platforms as well. Dive In is currently at 64 million plays and still is his biggest song. 2 months later, on July 30th, he would drop another song along with a music video called JELEEL Juice.
Whoa, what's that? This? Yeah, just some JELEEL Juice. It gives you real, raw energy! Oh, word? Yeah! Try it. Oh.
Hey yo, bro really just drank out of his own juice. What the fuck? I never had JELEEL's juice before, but I bet it tastes good and raw. This song was very different compared to the previous single. The heavy guitar with the soft but noticeable 808s in the back made this beat sound so different compared to the people within his scene. The overall whole vibe with the mixing of his voice made this track so happy and bright for the audience. JELEEL will keep dropping singles with So Time, July, and Rain On You. Rain On You is my personal fave from JELEEL, with it having 2.5 million streams on Spotify. It's honestly so hard, especially with the hard beat with a harsh synth with loud drums. His mixing is fire since they had to change it from 2 different sounds for his voice within the song. After dropping Rain On You, he would drop a 2-track EP on June 17th, 2022, which contained Clubhouse featuring Mike Dimes and Uncivilized Go. Clubhouse, as JELEEL described it, was more for the bitches than having them on him. Uncivilized was another rage song, and in my opinion, the better track out of the two. However, the weird alien sound that Clubhouse had made the beat very interesting to listen to. Now on to today, JELEEL has dropped 2 singles recently, which was Stone Cold on August 26, 2022, and Deliver on September 22, 2022. Stone Cold, which has 1 million streams on Spotify, had a melody to it while being a rage song. To me, it was more of a rockstar type song. Deliver, which I reacted to, go check that out while you at it, like and subscribe for more videos like this one, is more of a happier song. Listening to this song changed my mood so much, and it honestly was a hit for me. Just the trumpets in the back with the banging 808s and JELEEL's catchy flow makes the song overall perfect as well. Deliver now has 485k streams on Spotify at the time of this recording. After looking at all these tracks, JELEEL is extremely versatile. JELEEL has stated that he doesn't want to stick to one genre. In fact, he said that his genre is just JELEEL, since he's influenced by all genres. He always wants to drop the hardest shit, so when a song doesn't do as good, he doesn't let it bother him, and it pushes him to evolve even more. JELEEL wants to be the face of Rhode Island. He has his mind set on it. This is his biggest goal, and he will achieve it. He is currently working on his next album called Really Raw. He currently wants to do a European or Asian tour, alongside performing at Rolling Loud this year with his crazy sets. With the rising star having 2.2 million Spotify monthly listeners, JELEEL is an aspiring new artist with many influences on the scene. He is currently riding the new wave and will put Rhode Island on the map.